Monday Morning House Calls, sponsored by UK Healthcare.
Welcome back to Mountain News this morning. Today we're being joined by Dr. Joe Kingery of UK Healthcare. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today we're talking about cyberbullying. Of course, with new technology comes changes in just about everything. What is cyberbullying?
So it's a great question. It's something people don't always think about. We think of bullying because you go to school and someone picks on you, or there's just bullying everyone. Unfortunately, as you said, times have changed. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's a lot of other different media out there, email even. Cyberbullying is something where you're using those sources in order to bully against someone. Sometimes you know it because you may be the child who actually sees those things. Sometimes it may be going on behind their back and they have no idea that these things are being said or done. But obviously it's something that's very important, and bullying, as we know, has caused a lot of trouble with children, and cyberbullying is something we need to be concerned about as well.
What are some tips that parents can use with their own children?
So it's a great question. So the question is, how do you monitor that? How do you take care of that? How do you know it's even going on? I think the biggest things are making sure that your child's still behaving normal as they always have, because if they're starting to get bullied, either cyberbullied or in person, they're going to start changing their behavior. They're going to be a little bit more withdrawn. They're going to be having some mood swings. But monitoring all their social media as much as you can. I know that kids don't want that to happen, but I think parents need to be involved in that, knowing what's going on Facebook, knowing what's going on their email, maybe even locking down their computers to some degree in order to keep out things that they don't really need to be seeing.
And of course, you mentioned withdrawn behavior, some other things. How do you know that it's something that you might want to talk to your child, possibly talk to a provider, kind of take that next step, thinking that it might be a bullying situation?
So it's a great point. I think the biggest thing, watching out for those signs, seeing if they start changing their behavior, if there's any concerns that they see. Monitoring their Facebook to see, is there anything on there that is really causing concern? Are there any remarks that might be cyberbullying? And obviously, sometimes you can get feedback from other people or other parents who are telling you these things are happening. But it's something you need to have to sit down with your child and talk about, because unfortunately, the old adage was, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And unfortunately, we've found out over time that's definitely not true. These words really hurt children.
And how do you make sure that you don't raise a bully?
So that's a great question too. So obviously there's the bullying side versus getting bullied. So one of the big things I think is just having a talk with your child. They see the bullying themselves and then they start to think, well, that's okay, that's normal. But I think the big thing is having a conversation with them to explain to them that that's not okay. These things do occur, but it's not nice, it's not something appropriate, and honestly it can cause some serious harm down the way.
All right. Dr. Kingery, thanks for joining us, and Mountain News this morning continues in just a moment.